Got the guns out.
Hey, dog, what a weekend in golf, man. What a freaking weekend in golf, man. We're going to get into all this, obviously. But, guys, welcome back to the Golf and Gospel podcast. I am Geremy Davis, former NFL player and host of Golf and Gospel. And, guys, if you got a bad elbow, you hurt your shoulder, you hurt your ankle, go see the best PT in Arizona. My boy Nate Wong, former college golfer at the University of Nebraska, man. We're here to talk some ball, man. First off, let's just announce the winner of the rangefinder giveaway. Shout out to my boy Phoenix McGee. It's crazy. Don't know how often Phoenix has been golfing, but he entered and he won. So congrats, Phoenix, man. I'll make sure I get this to you up in the Bay Area of California, and I hope it gets you out on the course more to golf. Next, real quick, man, let's talk about the Epson Tour. Shout out to Melanie Green, man. She was 12th in the race for the card, which, again, top 15 players get to advance to the LPGA. And that's going to change a lot because she just made an amazing victory at the Island Resort Championships, man. So shout out to the homie
Wow.
Melanie Green. She's definitely a future golf and gospel player who's I'm gonna go against, probably lose to her, but she's a great person, loves Jesus, man. So super happy for Melanie Green. She punches her ticket to the Epson Tour Championships in Indian Wells. So really good job for her. Currently, Grace Kim is still leading the way for the race for the car, and Riley Smythe is right behind her. But Melanie Green definitely just helped herself out, so congrats to her. Also, no live match this week. They'll be in Dallas for the upcoming week, so no news there. But let's just jump into the heat of things now, dog. Travelers Championship, signature event, TBC River Highlands, dog. Second shortest course on tour.
Oh,
Tommy,
really?
yeah, dog. Tommy Fleetwood, bro. Just what are your initial reactions, man? Because I think me and Nate kind of made this like a tradition almost. We go and play golf on Sunday. We got the game on while we're playing golf, and then we come back. We talk about it. But man, what were your initial reactions when we saw not even just Tommy missing that last putt on 18, but the bogey he made on 16?
Dude, the bogey, I mean, he was letting it kind of slip in the back
Oh,
nine for sure.
yeah, yes,
So, and even on 18, like his approach was terrible. It was way short, like just stuff
short,
that you wouldn't expect
yeah.
someone playing that well to be doing. He hits it way short. Then when he lags it up there, hits it shorter than Keegan's approach
He had
on
to
hole
putt
18.
again. He had to putt again.
Yeah, that's the worst feeling in golf. You're still out, you know? You
Yeah,
putt and you're still out.
yeah.
So, dude, I just feel so bad for him. I feel like he didn't know how to respond, dude. Like I feel like he was just like in the post game interview, you know, he said what was it he said that was like we're like, what the heck?
Yeah, that was kind of weird. He said he feels like in his head that he
Oh,
won.
that's right. He won.
But in reality, that's not the case. I thought that was super weird too. I mean, obviously, I think us two, along with tons of other people, we have a lot of respect for Tommy Fleetwood, dog.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
A lot, bro. But it just hurt so much, bro. And the thing that was crazy about his back nine today, I believe he was leading the field all weekend on the back nine. He had, I
Was he
believe,
really?
yeah, I think he made three
Bro.
eagles this weekend on the back nine, and he was just, I mean, he pretty much led the whole tournament for 71 holes, bro.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
And
and
it
just
wasn't even like
couldn't
the
close.
72nd hole he was tied for the lead. It was like boom, flipped.
Yeah, big time, bro. And
Bro.
it was tough, man. And it's funny just getting all the DMs and texts like, bro, did you see Tommy? I'm like, bro, I know, bro, I know. And the thing I do want to say is about Fleetwood too, bro. And maybe I have to dig deeper into the vault of like his matches, but I don't think Fleetwood typically chokes things away. I think something just happens great for the other player. Like going back to the
Yeah.
RBC with Nick Taylor. Nick Taylor
Yeah.
made a 69-foot putt to win. And it's like,
Yeah.
well, there's nothing I can do. There's nothing I can do with
Exactly.
that. But when it's in his hands, you just
And
kind
it
of
kind of
hope that he
was, dude.
clutches up. It was. It was in his hands for sure.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, it's kind of like whenever was it the Rams or like there was like that running back who gets hit by the Saints safety, and it was all like, why didn't the refs call that? Because it would have changed the
Oh
game for the.
yeah.
It was like the
It
NFC
was.
Championship.
Yeah, it was Nickel Roby was the defensive back. Yeah, and it would have changed
So
everything. Yeah,
it makes me think of that because then I remember one of my classmates in PT school was like a huge Rams fan. And he's all like,
Yeah.
"Listen, dude, you have the whole game to win the game."
Yeah.
And in this example, it's like, well, Fleetwood, you have the whole 18 holes to win the
Yeah.
game, you know? And
Right.
yeah, like you don't want it to come down to the last putt, the last approach shot. And it did. And it's like, dude, you still had that last hole to win. Like that was
Yeah.
yours to lose.
Hmm.
So this one was tough because, like, granted, Keegan did make a birdie and he did earn that.
He had a
But
bunch of lag putts we watched earlier too. And
he had
just
a
like,
lot.
man, Keegan's
Dude,
trying to win, dog. He's trying to
dude,
win.
did you see the lag putt on hole 9?
Yeah. Yeah.
Jim Nance is all like, "What in the JJ spawn is going on?"
I didn't hear that part. I didn't hear that part. That's
Yeah, he
hilarious. Jim Nance is awesome, man.
"What in the JJ spawn is going on?" That was hilarious. But
Jim Nance is awesome, bro.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, Keegan
Yeah.
Keegan did earn it, but
He
I
earned it. He
still
earned
feel
it.
like with how big of a margin of victory Fleetwood had, he did let it
Hmm.
slip away. In the same token, you know, two sides of the same
Big,
coin.
yeah, big time, bro. Because after, poor Scotty, kinda, because
Mhm.
Scotty's already having a dominant year. When Scotty was done playing, it's like Fleetwood, this is yours for the taking. Because it was scary for a bit. Because Scotty ended up, I think, birdieing the first hole. And I'm like, ah, shoot,
Yeah,
here
he
comes
was.
Scotty. Yeah, and then, yeah, but then Scotty obviously finished with a T6. I was like, bro, Tom, this is up for you, bro. It's up for you. Now, yeah, it was close between Russell Henley and Keegan Bradley. And
Yeah,
then even
those
to
three.
make it even more for Tommy Fleetwood, if Russell Henley, which very honorable thing he did, gave himself the
The
penalty, not give
penalty.
himself the
Oh
penalty,
yes, dude.
but yeah, call. Go ahead, go ahead.
Yo, dude. Yeah. No. So I
Yeah,
was just saying, like, dude, that you're crazy. That's right. Like he would have been right
yeah.
in the
So
mix.
right, so everything was in Fleetwood's hands, like to take it, bro. And for people who are listening, we're just talking about the golf game. We're not poking fun at Fleetwood. We want him to win, but it's like everything
Dude,
was
we
there for
yeah.
you, dog. It was there for you, man. Russell Henley calling himself on a penalty. Um, Scotty being done, and even Scotty
Mhm.
having, unfortunately, the horrendous Saturday on his
Saturday. Yeah.
birthday, to make him chase, which I think is scary. Like no matter where Scotty is, because Scotty's leading, it's like he's not giving it up, and then if he's chasing, it's like he can jump on my
Absolutely.
back at any moment. And I think this was just the perfect opportunity for Tommy Fleetwood to win. Now I'm sure he believes, and I'm sure other people are going to believe he's going to have way more opportunities to win.
Yeah. I
But
hope
with this
so.
being the last signature event, you possibly capturing your first victory, man, like it hurt to see you push that
Yeah.
putt, bro. It hurt a
Yeah.
lot,
It
man.
really. Well, and then Keegan saw the line right there.
Got
So
a
then he's
line.
all like, "Oh, this is gonna go right."
Yeah.
So he started
Poor
that putt
birdie.
a little bit left. Yeah. And then,
Yeah.
dude,
It was
well,
crazy,
how did you
man.
feel, man? You were on the golf course. I want the listeners to know
It
how
kind of
you felt about that.
it kind of hurt, bro. Cause like this recording, we're recording this on Sunday, but typically this comes out on Tuesday, guy. But me and Nate were playing in a shamble or best ball
Yeah.
event with his brother Aaron, and a new homie I just met, Tommy Marquez. And when Tommy missed, that kind of made me play a little bit bad for the next three holes because I was just feeling the pain, dog. I'm just like, and it's funny. I didn't predict Tommy to win. I did predict Russell Henley. He was in the mix. I did get it right with Keegan in terms of he was a
Dude.
dark horse pick for me. So I had some pretty good predictions this week, and especially with the LPGA. We'll get into that later. But yeah, for the sake of Tommy Fleetwood, I was like, make me wrong, bro. I don't even care about these picks being right, bro. If it was Tommy Fleetwood, anybody else, I'd be like, man, dang it. But it just hurt, man. And you saw it affected my game on the course. I don't know Tommy Fleetwood. I'm not related to him. He probably does listen to Golf and Gospel. Let's keep it a buck. But it just hurt, dog. It hurt so much. It affected my personal game, bro. So that's how
Yeah.
I took it.
No, but low key, I'm like happy with. Low key, yeah, bless you. Low
Thank you.
key, I'm happy with Keegan winning though,
Captain
because
Keegan.
yeah, it's crazy how great of a year he's having.
Yeah.
And I wonder if is it because he got nominated to be the Ryder Cup captain, and he's just like, well, I'm just gonna ball out because I feel like this is like a year. I feel like he's trying to prove himself. Like, yo, I should have been on that team 2 years
He should
ago,
have. He should have. He should have.
and I think it's like a little vengeful year for him. Like he's
Yeah.
just tearing. He's been doing pretty well.
Yeah.
I don't have his stats up or anything, but I feel like he's just
I think
He's had
he might be like top 15 in FedEx Cup points. Got a few top tens. I mean, if you want to look up his stats, shoot, let the audience know, man. But he's having a pretty decent year.
yeah. I'm gonna check it out. Let's see.
This is probably his first victory in a hot minute too.
Oh yeah, it's definitely been.
But
Definitely been a minute.
while you're looking that up too, man, it's funny too. Going back to the Ryder Cup year where he should have got picked in 2023, we did an episode a while ago with Don Pooley. Don Pooley's awesome, man. And I remember asking him too. No shade to any PGA player, just based on what the season was doing. I remember saying, "Hey, dog, would you pick Andrew Putnam at the time? Because Andrew had a really good 2023 year. Would you pick Andrew Putnam over JT?" And Don Pooley was like, "Oh yeah, absolutely." Just because Putnam was having the year. Putnam was like a top 35 player that year. But I think with familiarity, experience, they went with JT. Now, obviously, JT's having a way better year than his 2023 year. But besides the point, Keegan for sure should have got picked over JT that year. And this could be like my revenge tour. I want to show y'all. He won. He was a captain for the President's Cup. They won. And now he's a captain for the Ryder Cup. And now he's looking to do the same thing this year at Bethpage.
Oh, dude. So he's played in 15 events, made 14 cuts.
Okay, yeah.
9 top 25s and 5 top 10s.
Solid. And a win.
So 30% of his starts were top 10,
Yeah.
and about 2/3 of his starts were top 25
Yeah.
this year.
Yeah.
So
he's
make
been-
it a
he's
pretty
like, man.
good run. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't want to take away from Keegan and his victory because of how bad we feel for Tommy. But again, that was a great win, man. You climbed back, made a clutch birdie. Like, how do I say this? Because I don't want to say like, oh, Tommy gave it away to Keegan. Like, Keegan earned those, man. Those lag putts earlier in the round, he earned those, man. And he said, "Hey, he's like, Tommy, if you're going to win your first one, I'm gonna make it tough for you." And Keegan came back, got in the winner's circle, man. And like I said, it's awesome, Captain Keegan, man. Ryder Cup captain. This turned out to be a really, really good year for Keegan Bradley, man. So shout out to Keegan Bradley for winning the travel championship at TPC River Highland, and again the state that I went to school. Shout out Huskies. But bro, let's talk about this too. I got a thought on this, man. A lot of injuries this week, a lot of withdrawals, man.
Oh yeah.
We got Jordan Spieth, upper back neck injury, Siwoo Kim back injury, Corey Connors wrist injury, Victor Hovland withdrew with a neck injury. What do you think is going on with that? I have a take. I don't know if you do, but I have something to say about that.
Dude, so just an armchair physical therapist here. So I don't really know, but I wonder if this is just like that time of the year where like now the golf is kind of wearing on them, because we're more than halfway through the season now, and it's just especially these guys that don't get a lot of breaks, which I think Spieth's been playing like darn near every event.
Yeah, he kind of has to. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think Victor Hovland has been playing in a lot of events, so I think that's like when they can start to meet their ceiling, their physical ceiling essentially, and then like that's how these overuse injuries start, or like the stress can kind of be a bigger factor with the amount of pain that someone feels, especially when it comes to like neck pain. So believe it or not, there was a systematic review I remember I read, and it was in office workers, and they were looking at these office workers and what about their office setup is why they have neck pain. So they're like, is it the keyboard being too close, so they're looking down more? Is it the screen being too low or too high? Or is it the fact that they have dual screens? What about certain office workers causes them to have a greater increase in neck pain? And the number one risk factor was their satisfaction in their workspace. It has nothing to do, like keyboard distance, screen height played a way lower role than how satisfied they were. So like we know that there's a psychological component to developing just pain in general, and I think maybe like the stress of the season, like with Spieth, like not performing really well, especially with his neck pain. So I'm just diagnosing it from far away, but I'm assuming So he said it was neck and upper back.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that's he has something called a Cloward sign. So that's like if someone goes like this, like I have
He
pain
did
right
do that.
here,
Yeah.
pain right here between the shoulder blades. Oh yeah, and he did like grab there.
Yeah.
But pain between the shoulder blades is usually it's called a Cloward sign, and there was a study done in like the '60s, I think, where there's this doctor named Ralph Cloward.
Okay.
He did this in live people, which is a crazy thing. But he took like a needle, I think, and he would poke people's discs of their neck, and he would be like, "What do you guys feel?" And they would feel like a zinging sensation down the middle of their backs.
For sure.
And he would describe it like it's like a periscapular pain. So it goes down the middle of their backs, and they would be like, "It hurts like right here." So that's called a Cloward sign, and I'm assuming that's what Jordan Spieth kind of developed, whether he like
Wow.
slept wrong and then tweaked his neck and then
Yeah.
had that upper back and neck pain. And it
Yeah.
sucks because like people don't realize that your neck rotates quite a bit when you play golf because your shoulders are rotating around, so your neck has to kind of like rotate over your shoulder essentially, and then
Yeah.
rotate over this shoulder when you finish swinging. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of like neck motions that you just accidentally do in a golf swing, and I wonder if
Yeah.
that's what irritates him and
Yeah.
and Victor Hovland. I think they both have the same thing. And did you say was it Corn Connor's wrist or?
Corey Curran has a wrist. Siwoo Kim back. They didn't say specifically what part of his back. But again, yeah, you're speculating from Phoenix, Arizona, and they're always
Yeah,
in
I have no
Connecticut.
idea. Yeah.
So no idea. But just my thoughts are, man, I wonder if the physical demands of playing at Oakmont translated over to
Oh,
this week. Yeah, hitting
yeah,
out of
hacking
the
stuff out.
rough, hacking stuff out, bro, just consistently. Obviously, they're walking, which is nothing new, but then the change in weather and stuff like that, I wanted that just kind of transferred to this week. Um, I'm sure these guys do an amazing job recovering, trying to get better for the previous week, but that was probably a toll on their bodies and probably the
Yeah,
hard. And it's deemed the hardest course on tour. So to
yeah,
do that and then come back and play at the Travelers, a signature event, you couldn't take this week off. So I think
yeah,
those
yeah,
guys tried to thug it out, and
yeah. Like
unfortunately, like
two big events. Yeah,
yeah, because like if let's say they did that and then it was the Rocket Mortgage or the 3M Open, I can take this week off, give my
yeah.
body
Just
extra
chill.
week, and then go play in the signature event. But with the back to back, I really wonder if it carried over, man, because hitting out of those roughs that we've seen obviously at Oakmont, we've seen at where was at Torrey Pines, those roughs, man, can definitely put a toll on your body. Just
Oh
constantly
yeah,
trying to hit your wrist, rotating with your back, because there's no
yeah.
give. There's no give. You're
There's no
just
give.
hitting. Yeah.
And,
So
and
that's my thought.
you know what's crazy too is that like sometimes your injuries, like you might the pain itself might manifest later, if that
For
makes sense.
sure.
Whereas
For
the
sure.
injury could have happened earlier.
Yeah.
Like I think about things like tendon pain. It might have happened a while ago, and then as you kind of get closer and closer, or further and further away from that injury, it's like, oh, now I'm starting to feel that ache
Yeah.
again.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like, yeah, that's why like Spieth might have felt some pain because he played the U.S. Open, and
Yep.
that's probably why he might have felt some pain because he felt it like Thursday. You know, it's like that the thing already happened, and it's just
Yeah.
kind of took a couple days to manifest.
Yeah, yeah, I agree, man. Another thing I want to talk about too, I kind of dabbled in a little bit, man. But Scotty, bro, I think day one shot 61. It's like, here we go with this again, man. Looked like
Oh
he
yeah,
was going. I thought he was going to repeat possibly the repetition or the repetitive times the announcer said, "It's his birthday. It's his birthday." Oh yeah, and Tom Kim. I'm like, hey, dog, it's Tom Kim's birthday too. Respect Tom Kim. But they kept talking about his birthday, and bro, he did not have a good Saturday, bro. Came out first hole triple bogey, and they said that's the first time he's
Yeah.
opened a round with a triple bogey, and then he went on, I believe, the double hole 8, and we don't know. We're not thinking like him, and I doubt this was a fact. But do you think the distractions of, hey, it's his birthday, played an effect, or do you think that him playing at Oakmont maybe transferred over to this week too? Because we see a lot of the top players who finish well not really have the greatest week. Not to say that Scottie have a great week. I guess in his terms, a T6 is not a great week for Scottie.
Yeah,
But
seriously.
right. But guys like JJ Spawn, he was probably exhausted. I think he had to do a lot of
Yeah,
media
but
stuff.
JJ, yeah, that's an
Yeah,
exception. Yeah,
yeah.
he had a busy week. Yeah,
Very busy week. Who else was in the top? Victor Hovland, unfortunately, had to
yeah, he had the
withdraw.
neck thing.
As opposed to the guys like from Live, Carlos Ortiz, John Rahm, Taro Hatton, they didn't have nothing this week.
Yeah,
So
they got a week off.
they're going to be well rested for their match in Dallas. But
Yeah.
do you think anything with the distraction from his birthday, or maybe the physical demands of Oakmont maybe played a part, or maybe just Scottie just had a bad day?
I mean, it's hard to say because he shot 61, and
Oh yeah, day
I
one,
mean,
yeah,
I think he's the kind of guy. I mean, I don't know. I've never met
yeah.
Scotty or anything,
Never
but
met Scottie. Yep.
I think he's the kind of guy that's like he forgets it's his birthday when he's in competition mode.
I can see him that. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. Did you ever have like a game on your birthday or anything?
Well, we had practice. My birthday was always in January. Well, my birthday is always in January. I was. And one year we made the playoffs, and that was probably one of our best years. But it was just a practice, but I didn't really think much of it. It was just practice. And I wasn't really a star player by any means where it was vocalized a lot. Like, honestly, like, if you're a star player and it's your birthday, at least with the Chargers, they post
That's a
you
good
all over
point,
IG and stuff. Me,
Yeah.
they give you a little tweet, and that's about it. So it was never really a distraction for me.
That is a good point because it was, especially like with Scotty, like people talking about it all week, and he's probably
Yeah.
got asked about it. I didn't watch any of his post games or anything, so he
I
probably
didn't
did get
either, yeah.
asked about it a lot.
Yeah.
So, dude, you're like, because we talked about it last week too. But you're so right. How much the freaking media loves Scotty.
Yeah, right, and rightfully so. But
Yeah,
like I said, my issue is like, if he's not in contention, bro, like, yeah, you still talk about Scotty, but we didn't gotta just like be so fixated on it. It's like, bro,
yeah,
Lee was probably about to get his first win, and we're talking about Scotty.
yeah.
Captain Keegan's making a push right now for first, and we're talking about Scotty. Russell Henley's looking to get his second victory this year. We're talking about Scotty.
I know, dude. Like with Captain Keegan and like the whole freaking Ryder Cup thing, like that could have
Yeah,
been a big talking point throughout
yeah.
the round. And it's just like they just and like Scotty is a good guy and he's a
Good
good
guy. Great
ambassador for the
player.
sport. So
Very,
I don't
very.
want to. I'm not trying to throw any shade, but
At all.
it's like, dude, they were just showing Scotty highlights, or they like go back and show something about Scotty, or like do another
Yeah.
spoof on Scotty. It's like, dude, Keegan has a bigger storyline, and
Yeah.
so does
Tommy
Fleetwood.
Fleetwood.
Yeah, they mentioned that he won in I think Dubai this year,
Yeah,
but they
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
really go into detail about like how like this is such a big moment for this guy's career. Like if he
Yeah.
can finally get a win on tour, it would be a huge moment.
Yeah.
They didn't talk about the RBC. Actually, they might have. I might have missed it, but
Yeah.
I don't think I didn't see him talk about the RBC when he lost to Nick Taylor. But
Yeah.
just I don't
I
know.
think that was the
But
last time he was really in contention, though, was the RBC.
yeah,
At least, like, oh, I can possibly win this. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But the media, man, they do love Scotty. They
So much.
like they
So
they
much.
always show him. They always show him hitting, and it's like.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, there's like a threesome playing at the end.
Yeah.
Who
And they're
want
on
to
the
watch them?
range.
Oh yeah, yeah,
That's funny. And they are on the range watching. We're on the range watching Scotty. Even too, bro. I mean, maybe again, not the as popular by any means as Scotty, but like Jason Day was in contention at one point, but they're just like, nope, we're not going to talk about Jason Day, man.
yeah.
It's
He was.
just,
Didn't he finish minus 13 or?
I think so. I think he finished fourth, maybe.
Yeah,
T4.
but he was. He was.
You wouldn't know.
He was. Yeah, you wouldn't know. They showed him like 3 times. Like he
Yeah.
was minus 14 at one point.
Yeah. I'm trying to. I don't even know when Jason Day's last win was, bro. I know he got a bunch of top fives. They were talking about how like in the last 40 months, Scotty has more top fives than Jason Day and stuff like that. But it's just like, yeah, I want to see the guys that are contending. Like, and again, there's no shade to Scotty. I do want to see Scotty shots. I do want to see if he makes his putt. I do want to
Yeah.
see like, oh, he's chasing. But like, if nothing's let's just focus on the people that actually have a chance to win. I'm not saying take the camera away from them. You have to show the face. I get it, but to be overly fixated on it, I'm just
Yeah, they
like,
were showing
dog.
his bogeys, dude. Like,
Yeah, bro. Like, what's going on right now?
when
Yeah.
Russell Henley makes a bogey, they don't show his
Oh
bogey,
yeah,
but they
no,
show
yeah.
Scotty.
They moving on, man. They're moving on, man. Speaking of Russell Henley too, though, man. Like I said, he was one of my picks. Very happy how he played. Had the low round day 3. Shot 9 under. Like half your holes were birdies. It's
Really?
crazy. Yeah, it's crazy, bro. But yeah, what were your thoughts on him calling himself for the penalty that he had? Because I think it was honorable, but I can understand why maybe like an outside guy might be like, bro, if you don't say nothing, maybe this.
Dude, I don't know. You remind me about like Sahith calling the penalty on himself too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I don't know. I just think it's good for the game of golf. And I think you said this too. I think I was talking to you about this, but it's like when you win, you don't want to be like, I won, but I didn't follow the rules of golf. I won outside of the rules of golf.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Oh,
and
what I
I
be
also,
what I be saying is like, man, if I shoot a 81, I want to shoot a real 81. I want to be like, I gave
yeah,
myself a gimme. Oh, I didn't count this pin. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know what you're saying. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah. But essentially, like, you just want to win inside the rules of golf,
Yeah.
and you want to shoot a true score, if that makes sense,
Hmm.
a true winning score. I think, more importantly, like outside of the game of golf, like he was just trying to be a good example. You know what's crazy? I watched the movie Letters from Iwo Jima,
Okay, I haven't
which
seen
is
it.
it won like Best Picture a long time ago. It was directed
Nice.
by Clint Eastwood, but
That's a great
there was
director.
like, well, yeah, and the whole point of that movie is to like restore some humanity in the enemy of World War II, because it's like the Japanese are just these evil people, but then it
Hmm.
shows from their perspective. And like there's a scene in that movie where they capture an American soldier, and then they read a letter that so they capture an American soldier who's wounded, and they nurse his wounds, but then this soldier died, and they had this American soldier had a letter that was from his mom,
Mm.
and they read the letter, and in the letter the mom told this soldier like, hey, do what's right because it's right.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what Russell Henley was doing, was like, I'm going to do what's right because it's right, and I'm going to be an example of that to my son. So
And
I
that was
think,
his point.
yeah,
Respect, respect. Yeah.
yeah. So outside the game of golf, like, yeah, as a competitor, I want to win because it was a true win. But
Hmm.
even outside, like, there's bigger things in the game of golf than the game of golf. That's why we're called golf and gospel.
Yeah, there
So
we go. There you go. Yeah, yeah. And that's the thing too, respectfully to Russell Henley too, because when we're talking about, at least it talks about in Ephesians 5, it says, raise your kids, fathers, raise your kids in the disciplines of the Lord. He showed an honorable moment right there to
mhm.
his son, because I'm not sure how old his son is. Like I said, there's not a lot of featuring of Russell Henley,
Yeah,
but some may think like your son might not even remember this moment, but he thought it was a good teaching moment. Regardless, I mean, again, his son could be of age where he understands what's going on, or maybe too young. But whenever his son looks that up, he's gonna say like, "Dang, my dad was honest. He was truthful," and that's gonna have a huge impact on his son as he moves on throughout life and stuff, man. So,
yeah,
I
yeah.
think I
And it
think that was amazing.
and it, yeah, the son might not, but like it's the little things you do repeatedly that will make an impact. So I
Hmm.
think him
Yeah.
just living by his value and what he
Yep.
believes in, doing what's
Hmm.
right because it's right. I think, and there's the proverb like, train up a child in a way, and he will not depart from it. And
That's amen. Yeah, for sure.
yeah, so I feel like, like, oh well, this moment his son won't forget. It's like, yeah, but if you keep doing it and you keep training your child that way, this
Yeah.
child's going to be a very virtuous man later on.
That's amazing. That's amazing, bro. That's amazing. Um, so I want to transition real quick to something. So obviously, there's a lot of people that talk about how there is a huge drop off in terms of skill level and talent from the PGA and live golf. I'm saying this because I disagree with that take. And my reason behind it, I was just driving down the 101. I just be thinking golf, bro. And I was like, bro, if you remove Scottie from the PGA, there's not really much of a drop off at all. Because there is a huge gap, truth be told, between world number one and world number 2 Rory, and then world number 3 Xander. They're not playing now. Again, as of recently, obviously Rory started off hot, and I'm like, dang. But we talked about the golf club, like, yo, no one's really pushing Scottie. Like, Scottie really lost because he made mistakes.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, no one's like keeping up with him. And I'm like, bro, you're telling me if Scottie was removed and we were led by Rory, Xander, Colin, Ludwig Oberg, who else in the top official world golf rankings? Well, along with some other guys, you're saying, are they going to wash Jon Rahm, Bryson DeChambeau, Joaquin Neiman, Tyrell Hatton? I don't think so.
Carlos Ortiz, you know. Yeah.
Carlos Ortiz, not at all, bro. And like I said, we go back and look at the majors. A lot of times in those top 8, you got about 2 or 3 live guys in there. Like this past one, Tyrell Hatton, Carlos Ortiz. That was 2. And outside of that,
both beat Scottie.
Both beat Scottie. And the other guys who were in the top were Victor Hovland, J.J. Spaun. And I'm sure if we go back to the Masters, Patrick Reed, Bryson DeChambeau.
Yeah.
Both beat Scottie. Like, so for people to say the talent is just a drop off of terrible, outside of Scottie, it's for lack of better words, evenly matched, or
but
you can probably tilt it one side or the other.
But even at the PGA Championship, like there was a second that even the announcers were saying that the PGA Championship was Jon Rahm's to lose because remember, like he came back and he was tied with Scottie, and Scottie like made a few bogeys and Rahm made a few birdies, and you know, I don't think so, man. I think the top guys in both leagues are evenly matched. Like I think if you get like and that, you know what, that would be cool is like if we did like a Ryder Cup that was PGA versus Live.
That'd be sick.
Because I think that would be evenly matched. I think that would be an evenly matched like setup.
There's some
like
dogs on Live, man, that people are not trying to give credit for, man, just because they don't agree with them leaving.
Yeah, just get Phil as the captain, and like
Phil's the captain.
It'll be
make it even more interesting. Maybe make it Tiger, bring up that old rivalry.
Yeah, the Phil Tiger rivalry.
Yeah.
Yo, dude, did we just reinvent golf television?
Yeah, exactly. And let them thug it out, man. But I just hear that way too much. Where I'm just like, and again, I get it. Some people may say the living PGA rivalry is not a thing, but every time a major comes up, those murmurs start happening. Like, Liv's not even that good. Yeah, all the time, bro. All the time. So I wouldn't even say it's as dead as people think. I think people just want it to be dead. But the drop off from Scottie to the next person is huge.
As of right now, for sure.
As of right now, Rory's not that scary. Unfortunately, as much as I like Xander, he's not really threatening. Colin's not threatening. I believe he's 4. I don't even think Wyndham's up there in official world golf ranking. Wyndham Clarke is a whole different beast right now with what's going on with him, which I guess that transitions me into that next question. I'm sure you saw his apology that he displayed for his actions at Oakmont. What were your thoughts about that apology?
Dude, I think the golf world already spoke, dude, because we saw like on Golf News or whatever, and like he did his apology, and everyone's like, dude, that was not a real apology.
Weak. That was so weak.
I do think he just didn't want to talk about it. He was just like, I don't want to talk. I'm going to be brief with this apology, and any other question about it, I'm not going to. I don't know if he said that, but I feel like I bet he feels like that.
Yeah, bro. Bro, it's Oakmont. It's an iconic venue. I think those lockers have been up.
Iconic,
For histories, bro. It's been up for a long time, and you damaged them. And
the prohibition type lockers. Yeah.
Yes, and it seemed rushed. It didn't seem sincere at all. And it's like, bro, how are you gonna force us to move on? I think he has a lot of what I'm looking for. I think he needs a lot of work in regards to his anger. I think it's starting to be showcased too much, as well as the year he had last year was good. I know people didn't really want to agree like he's in that top four with Xander, Colin, and Scottie. But it almost looks like his mood is predicated on winning, which I think he's putting his identity in winning. Yes, I get it, bro. Go out there and try to win. You should want to win. But to have this response to losing shows that you put too much weight on being a top guy and contender and being in those top four guys, man. So I think, I don't know who's part of his party or his camp, excuse me. I hope they're trying to help him and control the things that are happening with him. But yeah, that apology wasn't sincere. I think he just wanted to forget about it and move on, bro. Like I would think that he is sorry, but the way you showcased it was not good, bro, at all.
Yeah. It's definitely kind of like I definitely feel like the anger is kind of spiraling, and
It's getting bad.
yeah, and then this damaged locker, like they're
Breaking the T-Mobile sign.
yeah, like you would expect some like more heartfelt remorse,
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, so official world golf rankings, bro, he's dropped to 27th.
Oh,
So
dang, dude.
yeah, make sure I'm looking at this correctly. Yeah, because it's Scottie, Rory, Xander, Colin, JT is 5, and then Russell Henley,
wow.
and then we drop, we scroll. He is 27th, and he hasn't been playing that good this year either, man. But I think there's some personal things he needs to work on, man, and hopefully does that transition to better golf? Maybe, but
But
yeah,
you don't
I
do
didn't.
that for better golf. Yeah, you do that
You
just
don't. You do
because
it just
it's the right
morally.
thing to do. Yeah.
You want to be a great guy. But again, guys, if you're watching Golf and Gospel, please like, subscribe, comment, man. Let us know your favorite moments from the Travelers Championship. We're gonna move on here to the LPGA, bro. That
Let's
was a
go.
fun tournament to watch too. A lot to talk about there, man. We support women's golf here. The KPMG Women's PGA Championship purse has been increased to $12 million. This is the largest in LPGA
Yeah.
Major history. So this is great for women's sports, specifically golf. So I'm excited to hear that. I know also the Epson Tour. I don't know if they did it this year or it was last year, but the purse increased significantly at the TPC Scottsdale event too. So women's golf is starting to definitely get a good pay raise, man, which is awesome. But dog, Frisco played super tough, man.
Yeah, super
With the
windy.
super windy, bro. At one point it was up to 35 miles per hour. Temperatures were pushing 100 degrees, and with the
Oh,
wind, the field average at one point was 76.5. And we only saw that
dude,
three.
really?
Yeah, we saw 3 women were only under par.
Yeah.
So it was tough. And they said the back nine on Sunday was playing 2 strokes over par. So,
Really, dude.
yeah. So
That's
first off,
so that makes what Minjee did so much more impressive.
more
That's
impressive.
crazy.
Yeah, shout out to Minjee Lee,
That is
bro.
crazy.
And humbly, I'm happy because I picked her. I had a really good weekend picking, bro. Russell
Dude, you
Henley,
did, bro.
Keegan Bradley. But the most important person that I picked that I wanted, dog, my dog Malsego, man, just could not capitalize, bro. I don't want to say she's only a dog when the weather is in pristine conditions, but yeah, man, she definitely missed the cut. I think right now, in terms of, I think it's Rolex Cup
Or
Player of
CME.
the Year. No, not CME,
Oh
no,
yeah,
for
no,
Player of
yeah.
the
So
Year.
yeah, bro.
She's
Yeah.
still, she's still number one at 88, but I think she's now only up 5. Remember last time I showed you, she was up by 44, and now
Oh.
she's
Oh
only
yeah,
up
yeah. She
like
was up by a lot. Yeah.
now she's only up 5, man. So
Especially with
I still,
Jeeno getting like fourth, I think is what she ended up
yeah.
getting.
Yeah,
Um.
and
Yeah,
and and
fourth.
now Gino is number 1 in CME points. So Gino
Oh
had a really
yeah.
good outing too, man.
Yeah. But she's been
Yeah.
number one. She was
Oh
on
yeah,
one
yeah, yeah,
going
yeah.
into this week. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I'm thinking Nelly was still a factor, which unfortunately Nelly has not been
No, she
playing
was
that
like
well.
fifth. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think it's a good and bad week for me picking golf, man. I'm hurt for Mal Sago, man. I still stand by my word. I think she will be LPGA Golf of the Year. She is going to have to come back with maybe some top 10s, some top 5s to
Yeah.
account for a miscut at a major. That was the third major. And women majors, they have 5
It's
instead of 4
5. I
like
think
men.
Evian is it Evian is what it's called next?
I think Evian's next, and then the Women's Open after that
Oh, okay.
will
Cool.
be,
Okay.
the last one to conclude it, man. But Like I said, it was a tough week out there. Only 3 people were under par. Obviously, Minjee Lee, I think Austin Kim, and then I can't pronounce the other girl's name, like Washington or
Yeah, Juana's saying
yeah, she came out of
she kind
nowhere.
of came out of yeah, dude, she did jigs, bro. She came out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere, man. So that was really good for her. I mean, and I guess from my golf knowledge, I need to look into her some more, man. But going
Yeah.
back to Jeeno, bro, day one, she had only 25 putts, which is amazing, man. Shot
Wow.
4 under, yes, and then extended her lead early. And this is one thing I saw about Jeeno that was awesome. She was ranked third in scrambling, 73%, and because no one was hitting greens, like scrambling was a huge part of this weekend, bro.
Yeah, especially
It
when it's
was
windy. Yeah.
super windy. 35 miles per hour is
Hmm.
crazy. Second lowest in putts per round with 27 through the first 36 holes. But again, I think
Yeah.
the issue for her on Sunday, as we're currently recording, again, this drops Tuesday, guys, was her last day statistically, she had 0 green and regs, bro. And that's
Really?
tough. That's tough.
That's
It was
yeah.
hard to hit the green, bro. It was so hard. But she's proven she's playing well. It's number one CMM points, though.
Yeah, when it's hot and dry and windy, and especially like in women's
Texas.
golf where the ball doesn't hold as easily as much,
Yeah.
it's
Oh, swing
just
speed,
gonna
yeah.
yeah, it's just gonna have a higher chance of rolling off. And I honestly, in Nelly's defense and in my defense, because I
Here you
picked
go.
Nelly,
Here you go.
I think so with Nelly being taller and having like a more
Yeah.
upright swing and swinging
Mhm.
steeper, it the wind plays more of a factor for
Yeah.
her, especially like because usually ladies don't try to hit the ball as high because
Sure.
they have to get some distance and then that'll make the
Yeah.
ball run out more.
Hmm.
So like most ladies will kind of keep it lower, whereas Nelly like there's a few girls on tour I said like that kind of hit it like a guy, and Nelly
Yeah.
would is one of those, and she hits it
Yeah.
high and it spins like a guy. So higher
Yeah.
spin rate,
Yep.
faster swing speed, and a steeper swing. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
maybe I should have looked at the weather report before I did my
Yeah.
picks,
Yeah.
bro.
That's
Dude,
funny.
but
I mean,
Minjee Lee, dude, on
yeah.
Saturday
And I
it
picked
was
her out. I had a reason for picking her, bro, but I didn't know she was gonna catch a heater like that, dog. This is her
on
third. Her
Saturday.
third. Yeah, her third major win.
Dude, she made no bogeys on
No
Saturday.
bogeys,
That
bro.
was so impressive. Like
Very, especially at the conditions that were
especially in the
displayed.
wind, yeah. And she was like one of the later tee times, like where it was like the it wasn't like the morning
That's a
where it's like
great
usually a
point.
little calmer,
Great
yeah.
point.
Like
Yeah.
she
Yeah.
was like a later tee time, and it was just howling. And you
Yeah.
like when she hit the ball, it's like, is the wind not blowing when she hits it? I don't know what's
Right,
going on.
right. She and it's funny too. They talked to Minwoo Lee, Minjee Lee's sister, about just like her. He gave her so much props on her like mental focus and IQ of like golf,
Hmm.
man. And obviously, that had to be a huge factor. Like, how do I cut the win here? Do I club up or like how do we do this? And
Yeah,
it was at one point when I was overhearing the her and her talk with her caddy. Her caddy said something, but she was like, "Well, shouldn't we just do this, dude, because of the win?" He was like, "I
yeah,
like that too." And she went out there and perfected that shot, bro. And I'm
yeah.
just
It
like,
was,
dog, like, what are we watching right now? She's going crazy.
dude. She was low, just stone cold. Like she kind of had a rough start to Sunday,
Hmm.
but I mean, like, dude, the conditions are tough, and that course was really hard. But I honestly wonder too, like, if you're really nervous and you have like this like very analytical mindset usually, and then like when the wind is playing a role and you're a little bit more analytical, like
Yeah.
what you're you might think about your game plan per shot instead of like how nervous or how intense the
Ah,
situation is, which might have helped her. I don't want to take anything away from her. I feel
for
like that
sure.
kind of
Yeah.
sounds like I am, but
Yeah.
um, but I feel like with her kind of like process and her being like really analytical as she approaches every shot helps with her with the nerves that she might have in each moment. But
Yeah.
she was stone cold. Like she was like on 18, she had this commanding lead, and she
Yeah.
hits it right down the middle, and then
Yeah.
hits it like just over the green, and it was like,
Yeah.
and then she two putts, and
Yeah.
it was no like, is she gonna bogey
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
double just to let it
Yeah.
slip a little bit? It was like, nope, she is
Yeah.
hanging
And
on
I
in Scotty
respect
fashion.
that. I respect that from a Scott because Scotty doesn't just play safe. JJ Spun called game last week at the U.S. Open.
Yeah,
I love when
yeah,
people just go out there and say like, "Man, I'm gonna do this." And it's something about. I mean, Grady. The thing is crazy, yo. She could have still double bogey and still been under par.
yeah. She
Like I
could
said,
have. Yeah,
It was only three people that got over par, man. So it was super great to see Minjee Lee win one, man. And I'm happy I knocked that one on the head. Speaking about Nelly too, man. The more I learned about the conditions, at first I'm just like looking at it statistically. I'm like, yo, is her putter really that big of a concern? Yes, it is, but it was really again the conditions of what was going on, and she was quoted saying that the whole locations are unrelenting at KPMG Women's and almost impossible to like play through, and I think that actually contribute to some pace of play issues too, which someone asked her like, what can we do better to fix that? And she was like, I don't know, because you can't control the weather. So like when people are hitting the wind and obviously the ball's not going where they want, there are different shots that have to be performed in order to obviously keep it going. And I think the other issue is when we had Tracy on, she talked about how like, man, the conditions on a practice round Monday, Tuesday can be way different than what they are Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And they probably didn't really experience much wind. I'm not sure if the forecast predicted windy days, but that probably really hurt a lot of people's game plan. It's kind of like in football, man. All right, we're going to go in, we're going to make sure we get this receiver this many targets, and we're going to give the running back this many carries. And then both of them get hurt. It's like, what do we do now? And it kind of slows down your game plan. Now you got to find a way to adjust, like, okay, who's our next best guy to go to? How can we implement this backup into a key role that still helps us win? Things start to slow down. So I think that weather played a huge part in regards to the slow pace of play and not necessarily Charlie Holt bullying everybody to play faster than what they should be playing. Oops.
Yeah.
Here we go. Yeah. Other thing too, man. So I do want to give credit to Lexi Thompson. She came out, played really well too. This is. I'm gonna see where you're gonna go with this. Here's my thing. So Lexi Thompson has the most top tens since 2015 without a win. So kind of in a Tommy Fleetwood situation, except she does have LPGA wins. She finished T3 at the PGA Championships, T4 at the Myers. She did miss the cut at the Women's U.S. Open, and then she had a T14 at Chevron. I believe she finished T5 this week. Who do you think is going to snag a win first this year, Lexi or Nelly?
Bro, man, I don't know. I just don't know if, because like these girls play so well. Like, what did Maya start? She like -8 to win the U.S. Open on
Something
at
crazy.
Erin Hills. Like that was a crazy performance by her.
Yeah.
And then with Minjee, like I just feel like you have to go so low, and I don't know if, like when Lexi plays great golf, I feel like she's. I mean, I don't want to hate, but I feel like we what we saw this weekend from Lexi was pretty dang close to her ceiling. At this point in her game. At this point in her game, you know?
Yeah.
Because golf is not her number one thing anymore, you know?
Yeah, she's playing on a limited
Semi-retired.
schedule. Even though she like plays in every tournament.
Yeah. I think at least, yeah.
Yeah, and she said not every tournament, but like she's played in quite a few events that looks like a full schedule. But she did say she still trains and preps as like has a full-time schedule. I think she's just trying to, maybe I'm wrong, she's probably just trying to slowly wean her way out into retirement, but doesn't want it to be like an abrupt ending per se.
Yeah. Oh, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I don't know Lexi. It'd be cool to know Lexi. I'm a fan of Lexi Thompson. But I think for her, she's I can see her winning before Nelly, bro. That might be
You
a hot
think
take
so?
too.
I
For
just
sure,
think,
bro. Because
I feel
I would
like
say this. Go ahead. Yeah.
I don't think Nelly needs to play at her best to win. Kind of like Scottie.
I think she
Like,
does this year.
dude, after last year, I just think she's not playing anywhere close to her best right now, and I think
At
she's
all.
kind of in like, yeah, I just feel like this year for Nelly is kind of like the same. It's like the equivalent of what's happening with Max Homa, or like I don't know, just someone who just kind of has like a down year, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like that's what's happening, and she's still finishing like close to the top 10. What did she end up finishing at?
Maybe
She was
5 or
close,
6.
14th, I think.
Oh, was it 14? Then she dropped. Oh, maybe she had +5. That's what I'm thinking.
But I just think she finished 19th. I feel like she's just
dang.
having, yeah. I think this is her down year, and it's just like finishing 9th,
Yeah.
19th, that kind of stuff at these majors.
I'm
Like, I don't
really
think
curious. Yeah, go ahead.
I was like, I don't think she has to play at her best to win. Like she has to play really good. Don't get me wrong. Like she has to
Yeah,
play really good because these girls are good.
yeah,
But I just think Nelly is such an amazing golfer that
yeah.
she doesn't need to go lights out to dominate. And
See,
sadly, we're just
I think this year she does, man. There are too many up and coming people. There are like Maya Stark's young one. She's on the up and coming. Obviously, I've been bragging about Mal Sago all year. She's only in her
yeah.
second year, man. There's going to be some people from the Epson Tour that are going to come out here and start lighting things up. The girl, what's her name? Inglad, I think. She's from the Epson Tour. She captured a win this year, too. So, I think she does have to play lights out to get a win. And I do think Lexi will capture one before her, truth be
You
told,
do.
bro. I really do, bro.
How does
And
Jeeno?
you know what? And honestly, truth be told, Lexi would have been in contention to win this week, but unfortunately, I think it was day 3. She went +5 through the first 8 holes and then went crazy and went 2 under on the last
Oh
10. I
yeah,
think,
that's right. Yeah.
yeah,
She
yeah,
did go
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, so that showed veteran presence because maybe a young person probably would have folded in that moment. But she
Yeah.
finished with T12, I believe, and we can say this about anybody. If you eliminate that, if you do that, you do that. But I'm like, yo, if Lexi just eliminates some of the small things that she's having going on, I can see her getting the win before Nelly, bro. I
Bro.
really can.
Bro, Gino is 22.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, she's young. Yeah, and that's why
Bro.
Emma Talley says she will end the year as the #1 golfer, and Emma Talley is showing herself to be correct in that prediction. I'm still fighting for Mal Sago, but Gino just made a huge statement this week, finishing what
Yeah.
T3, T4, I
T4, I
think.
think, but yeah,
Yeah,
she hasn't won a major yet, but
yeah, that'll been her
like,
first
dang, I
one.
didn't know she was that young. Dude,
Yeah,
what
yeah,
in the
yeah,
world?
yeah, yeah. She
All
would
right, yeah,
definitely
maybe
won her
Nelly does
first.
have to play some lights out golf. Come
Yeah,
on, Nelly,
there.
get back on there. Let's
And
go.
she, yeah, and I think golf fans want that. I think the LPGA wants that because she's a face.
Oh yeah.
She is
Mhm.
the Scotty. So a lot going on there, man. But again, shout out to the homie Minjee Lee. I hope this pushes Minwoo Lee to
Yeah.
play better golf as well, dog. And I want to transition here. So obviously, again, guys, we're recording on Sunday. This list may update in the future, man. But let's talk a little bit about the Ryder Cup here, man. So um, currently, the top 6 for the men are obviously Scotty, Xander Schauffele still, JJ Spawn is at 3, Bryson DeChambeau's at 4, Justin Thomas is at 5, Colin Morikawa is at 6. For the European side, we got Roy McIlroy at 1, Tyrell Hatton, great pick. Well,
Tyrell,
not
yeah.
pick, but he's earned it. He's at number 2. Shane Lowry's number 3. Robin McIntyre is number 4. Number 5 is Sepp Straka. Number 6 is Ramses Hogard. Judging just from the top 6 currently starting off right now, only 6. Don't even pick the other 6. Who do you think wins flat out? The Europeans or the U.S.?
Dude, I think the US team looks pretty dang good. Like I don't know where else I've seen McIntyre besides the US Open. Like
U.S. Open,
did
he was
he
close, yeah.
yeah. But
Let's see,
you had
man.
him picked in another event cuz you were like, I'm gonna pick the lefty. I can't remember what event
Yeah,
it
man,
was
I did.
though.
I think I did pick him this week as well. But there was a time prior to that where I also picked
Oh, it
him.
was the RBC. Cuz I was all like
Was
when
it?
you said I'm gonna pick a
Oh yeah,
lefty, I thought you were picking Mike
yeah,
Weir.
yeah. No,
Yeah.
no, no, no. It was. It definitely was.
Yeah.
Yeah, this year, 4 top tens, 17 events, 15 custom made, eight top 25s, one runner up, which we know is the U.S. Open.
Mhm.
His last 5 tournaments: T17, the Travelers; number 2 at the U.S. Open; RBC T36, the Memorial T20; Charles Schwab T6. His best finish is the U.S. Open, with his second
Swap.
best finish is the Players with a T9. Uh, but I
Oh.
do agree with
So
you in
solid year,
regards to
yeah.
solid year.
Nine
I
at
do.
nine at players, yeah.
Yeah, that's yeah. The TBC Sawgrass played tough. So
Yeah.
it was windy too. You got the Island Green 17. It was a lot going on there. But I do agree with you in regards to the U.S. team. And here's my main reason why: because Live guys can't get much points on Live,
Well,
and
but
the
that's why, like, with Hatton being number two is
two
so
bad,
like
like
that's
good for
not like.
him, but like the guys who are on the
Oh, I
the
guess
thing
that's
that's
yeah. It's bad for rest of Europe.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because
I
it's
was
like,
thinking
how's he
like
number
that's
two?
so impressive. Like he's number 2 at Ryder
For
Cup.
him, that's
Yeah.
impressive. But from the totality of
For
the Europeans, that is
yeah,
not
dude.
good. That a
Good
guy who's
point.
not even on the PGA, only one
He's played
above him is
three
Rory.
events. Yeah,
Yeah,
he played 3
three
events and
events.
he's
Yeah,
number 2. That's
he's number
crazy.
two. So it's crazy, bro. And guys like Ludwig Oberg is not
Yeah,
even in the
Ludwig.
top six.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Ludwig's got to show up. Victor Hovland, my boy Victor's got to show up. You know.
yeah. I think Victor will. I think he will. He's climbing his way up to making that, being that top six positions. But so I want to make this unique. So we got captain's picks, obviously, for the next 6 guys. I want to know, based off the year that is happening right now, who would you pick for your captain's pick for the U.S., and I will do the European team.
For the U.S.
And
Okay, wait, hang on.
take
Who
your
was the
time.
top
Yeah,
6?
take your time, bro. So
Dude,
you
I don't
got
know.
your
I
top
feel like I
6.
would. I feel like I would rather pick for Europe right now.
Okay, I'll do U.S. That's fine.
Let me think though. Where might I find the current Ryder Cup standings right now?
So crazy that JJ spawns 3.
Yeah, that's okay for the U. Dude, you know what's crazy though? Like if I was doing a captain's pick for the U.S., like I would pick Keegan. Like that would
I
be
know. Yeah.
an absolute, and that sucks because he can't pick himself.
Can't pick himself, but if he keeps playing like he's playing, bro, he's gonna he's
He's
gonna
just
be in
gonna
the
play
top
his way
6.
in.
He's gonna play his way in, bro.
Yeah, I know. Like I don't want to play. I would never. I would. So like Brian Harmon's 12. No offense, I wouldn't pick him.
Yeah.
Dude, I think Ben Griffin would be a great pick right now. Actually.
Oh, so are you gonna stick with the U.S.? I know you said you rather pick for Europe. You rather do U.S.
Well, I'm just saying. Like I feel like
Oh yeah.
I'm. Yeah, for Europe, like I'd rather pick for Europe because they just have like I would pick Victor Hovland obviously
Of
because
course you
he's my
will.
boy.
Yeah.
But that's why I said that. But like I feel like Europe has like good I feel like if you pick Ludwig, it's still a good pick.
It's not a bad pick. Yeah, it's not.
Yeah,
It's.
if you
I would love to see if someone would challenge me with this, bro. But picking Ludwig Oberg this year, with him not having a good year, is like picking JT in 2023. Maybe a hot take.
dude,
Might be a hot take, but
yeah.
that's how I see it. Right
No, because you're kind of picking him based off his past 2 years and not
Yeah.
necessarily like his resume. It's like what NFL GMs say is like, I don't care what you can do, what you've done. I care what you can do for me now. You know,
Yeah.
kind of a deal.
Yeah.
And I just like I would have a tough time picking Ludwig, but man, his ceiling is there. And let's not forget he won this year. He won a
He won this
signature
year.
event this year.
He did. Yep. He did.
So, and it was shocking that he missed the US. I felt like he was playing okay golf. The ball just didn't drop for him at the US Open,
Yeah. Okay. So based off that, let me hear your 6 that you would pick as a captain's pick for the European team.
All right, for Europe, I got it. Like
Okay.
one of the picks
Here-
I would pick is Rahm.
Good pick.
I would pick John Rahm easily.
Yep. Easy.
Rahm, Victor,
Okay.
maybe I would pick Fleetwood for sure.
As a team, individual, yeah, I'll pick Fleetwood. Yeah,
I would pick Fleetwood for sure. Yo, so Ludwig's number 8,
it's a good pick if you pick him.
but that's crazy that he's number. Like I wonder if like there's someone else on Live that I'm missing out on if I'm picking Ludwig. You know what I'm saying? Like, because like these.
Only ones on Live. No, because they're all Spanish. Well, no, not
Oh
Spain.
yeah.
Well, no,
But
'cause
Spain would be
play-
yeah.
Yeah. What is Neiman's not? Where's Neiman from?
He's from like I think South America or Central America.
Yeah. So yeah, he couldn't be.
Dang,
couldn't be
dude, I don't know, man. I think I would pick Ludwig then.
Yeah.
So I got Rahm, Victor, Fleetwood, Ludwig.
Yeah.
Let's see. Do I want to pick Justin Rose? I just don't feel like.
It's been kind of he's in a bit of a slump right now.
I know, because he had one good event, and that's probably why he's ranked 9th for Ryder Cup. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It was a big event though.
It was, and Ryder Cup's got big moments, so like you
Yeah.
can kind of factor that in. Like, hey, he didn't do great at these smaller events,
Yeah.
but this big event he did amazing. And the Ryder
Right.
Cup has these big moments. You want people who can show up at big moments, and he hit it an amazing approach going in going into 18 at the Masters. Like
Yeah.
he still did really well in these moments.
All right.
Dude, I don't know. With that being said, I'm probably not gonna pick him. I would pick Dietrich, and I would
Dietrich's a
just
good
pick
pick.
Matt Wallace.
And
And
that's
I would just
6.
pick Matt Wallace. Yeah.
That's solid.
So like Rahm is the guy that's like way far away that I would fill in instead of
Yeah.
and have him play instead of Justin Rose. But they
Yeah.
got to pick Rahm. Like Rahm did great at the PGA. He was kind of making some. He shot 67 in the last day of the U.S. Open.
Yep. Got the
And
T7.
he made the cut at the Masters. I just can't. I
Yeah.
thought he like kind of snuck in towards the end. I can't remember what he did at the
He
Masters.
got hot a little bit and snuck in. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just too hyped for the Bryce and Rory showdown. Except for that was kind of lame.
A letdown for sure. Regarding the U.S. team, my pick, so I will pick Russell Henley. Russell Henley is playing really, really good. Like I said, a bunch of top 10s this year, man. Picking Ben Griffin so far. He's hot. His name's just been murmuring all around so far. This one, I'm going to go Patrick Cantlay. That's 3. Give me Sam Burns at 4.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
You know what? This one might be a little argumentative, but I'm okay. Give me my dog Novak having his best year at 30. And then there's some decisions to make here. There's a lot of people out there that's left. You got Max Holmes not having the best year, though. He's sneaky, but I don't think anybody would pick him, man. Lucas Glover's having a solid, small, kind of good year. I don't know about Wyndham Clarke right now. I know he said he's still trying to make the Ryder Cup team, but the way I'm thinking locker room presence, like,
Yeah, dude.
I don't know if I want Wyndham.
Yeah,
So
if
here's who
you're
I'm-
upset all the time, it can be
Yeah.
infectious, you know.
Right, and then you got Sahith, but he's not having the best year. Akshay Bhatia, Willie Z. But
yeah,
I'm going to go with something controversial as well. I'm going to pick Patrick Reed. Patrick Reed would be
really.
Yeah, he would be my 6th guy. yeah. Because, obviously Keegan can't pick himself. The only one that people can probably argue, which I would not give any pushback on, is Cam Young. He doesn't win, but he's been finishing
Cam
pretty
Young.
solid. Yeah, but I will go with Patrick Reed, bro. Even though he's not a fan favorite. People probably don't even want him representing the United States at all.
Dude, it's crazy because like I feel like it's like the pick 9, 10, 11, 12. Like those are the guys that win it for you. It's really not the top end guys. It's like these like later matches are the ones that like, get you the points to win.
Yeah. And there is
You know,
a
if
fear,
you're-
too. Like, Patrick Reed, you're going to cheat and get us caught. And then, you know what I'm saying? But, like, each time so far, when it comes to these majors, man, like, Patrick Reed's having a pretty solid outing. So, I'm thinking about his finish at the Masters. He finished really well at the Masters. He had a pretty solid showing at the U.S. Open. So, just currently based on the day, recency bias and stuff, I like him. Okay, so yeah, T23 at the U.S. Open. PGA Championship, he did miss the cut. Masters, man, finished with a solid solo 3rd, bro. Like, I think, and then Livy's playing really good too. So, there's some controversy there with picking Patrick Reed, but,
Dude,
yes, you guys.
I
give me
honestly
pushback on that.
don't. Do you think Keegan Bradley would ever pick him though?
No shot.
Okay.
No shot.
That's a valid question though. Like,
Yeah.
wait, would you pick this guy? Or do you think our captain is gonna pick him? I don't think any of the I don't think like Fierk is gonna be like, yo, we should pick this guy. You know?
No chance, bro. If I had to be realistic, he probably will go again. Russell Henley, Ben Griffin. I don't know if Keegan would pick Andrew Novak. That's a good question to have. I think he would pick Cantlay. I think he would pick Sam Burns.
Yeah, Cantlay was a good pick last time.
Yeah. After that, man, it's up in the air. Do you trust Jordan Spieth injury history to withstand Wyndham Clarke's anger
long week.
managements?
Yeah, dude, you just can't have like if someone plays bad, you can't let that infect the whole team.
Yeah. Max Homa,
It's like-
he was pretty much the player of the Ryder Cup for America.
last year. Yeah.
Or 2 years
Or
ago.
last
He's
time.
not.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not doing well. So I'm really interested who that sixth pick might be. Like not sure if you really want to go with Ricky Fowler. Not really playing that amazing.
I do think Sam Burns is a good pick. Like
Yeah.
you got I feel like
Does Keegan pick Zach
no,
Johnson?
dude, no way.
No shot.
No way.
No shot. No shot.
No, watch him just call Zach Johnson because Zach Johnson called him 2 years ago to say he's not on the team. He's just gonna call him like,
bro,
"Yeah, you're not on the
I
team.
know you
You're
weren't even
50th."
close. Yeah, you weren't even close. Yeah, what's Zach? Zach Jones is 59th. It's like, hey, I'm just calling you to tell you no. I know you had no shot at it, but I just had to get my get back. And he doesn't even say bye. He just hangs up.
I just gotta get my gift back.
I just had to get my get back, bro. Or do you pick Brooks?
Dude, that's kind of what I was thinking. Like, there's got to be another guy on Live you can pick. Like, but like Brooks, DJ, Cam Smith. Like,
Definitely not picking Cam.
dude, I know.
Well,
I'm just saying,
he's
like,
Australian though. He's Australian.
is he Australian? Whoops, my bad.
Cam Smith's an Aussie. Yeah.
But dude, I just feel like no one on Live is kind of showing up besides Bryson. You know, like Brooks had one good day at the U.S. Open, but it wasn't. He never followed it up. You know.
Yeah, the only ones that are consistent, is Rahm. Oh no, Americans. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's Bryson.
It's just Bryson. Like,
he only missed one cut, U.S. Open. Yeah. But that's where it currently stands. People are watching, man. Let us know who your picks would be. You know, if you're a team captain for the Ryder Cup, man. Next thing I want to move on to. Obviously, the Open's about a month away. We're not about to predict the Open or anything like that. But several players have multiple PGA wins, but not have a major. Here are the names. Max Homa has 6 wins, with his closest time being the 2024 Masters with a T3. Matt Kuchar has 9 wins. Closest time was 2017 Open T2. Patrick Cantlay, 8 wins. T3 at the 2019 PGA Championships and 2024 U.S. Open. Victor Hovland has 7 wins. His closest call was the PGA Championships at T3rd. I remember watching that because I thought he was going to grab it. Ricky Fowler, 6 wins. His closest call was 2018 Masters. Tony Finau, 6 wins. Closest was the 2019 Open. Sam Burns, 5 wins this year, and his best finish was the U.S. Open at T7 this year. Who do you think has the best chance to win from this group? Again, Max Homa, Matt Kuchar, Patrick Cantlay, Victor Hovland, Ricky Fowler, Tony Finau, Sam Burns.
dude, okay, I swear to God, I'm not picking him just because he's my favorite.
But it's not a bad answer, though.
But I think Victor Hovland is probably the best answer. Like,
Sam
Burns was in contention for a long time at the U.S. Open. So
yes, he was.
Like, he would probably be my number 2 pick. But I just don't think Max Homa, Kuchar, Finau. Who else was on there?
Ricky Fowler, Matt Kuchar, Patrick Cantlay, Max Homa.
Yeah, I think maybe Cantlay could sneak in there for the Open. Yeah, I feel like he could be one of those guys that sneaks in at the Open.
He did disappoint me at the U.S. Open, but
I just don't have a lot of faith in Max Homa. Dude, I hope he turns it around.
Me too.
I hope he turns it around. But I think Victor Hovland, with how he's been playing recently,
that's the best answer. I think the truth. I think the thing with Victor Hovland is to see how significant this injury is. I mean, granted, it's a month away. You got time.
Yeah.
But I think that's the best answer. I think I love Finau, man, but his putter is just atrocious. I think he 4-putted one time this weekend. I was just like, all right, this is nasty to look at right now. Yeah, because I hit my homegirl up, Tali, because they're both Samoan. She loves Tony Finau as well as I do. I'm not Samoan, though. But he had a 4-putt, and it was just like, this is disgusting to watch. And we talked about this, maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago when he putted for one hand, because he said when he has 2 hands, he keeps pulling it. So I think there's just still some issues going on with his putter, man. So I don't think he's close, and we'll see how he plays at Link Styles golf and stuff. I think Victor Hovland is the correct answer to determining if he gets back from this injury. So I think that's a solid pick, man. But yeah, the Open's a month away. They got time. A lot of these guys are probably going to play in the Rocket Mortgage. They're probably playing the 3M Open, and hopefully they can qualify for the Open, or unless some of them already have exemptions, but. We'll see, man. But with that being said, let's go to our predictions for the Rocket Mortgage Classic held in Detroit, one of the most open courses on the PGA Tour. Super flat, super open. Nate, I would love to
Short too,
hear.
I think.
Very short. I would love to hear your top 4 guys who you think have a real chance of winning, and then I'll answer my 4 guys, and then we'll go to our dark horse picks.
So, because it looks short, it looks like there's a few like 400-ish yard par fours like that are like sitting around
Yeah, I saw that.
390 to 420.
Yeah,
So I think people who do well at 100 yards and in are gonna have a chance to win.
good take.
Granted, I don't know. Like, watch the like. I didn't really look at like what the layout of the holes are. So watch these like 400-yard par fours have like a huge thing of water, and it's like everybody
Yeah.
lays up. You know.
Oh, there's a bunker at 315. Yeah,
Yeah. So everyone hits through wood. But
yeah,
either way, when there's like a lot of 400-ish yards par fours, it's like who's really good at 100 and in, 150 and
Yeah.
in, that kind of stuff.
yeah.
And Sepp Straka and Hideki were 8th at as far as like distance to the pin from 100 and
Yeah.
in.
Okay.
So if they can carry that momentum in to Rocket Mortgage, I would
Yeah.
say they have a legitimate chance to win. Sepp Straka already won this year. They both won earlier this year.
Hideki won the Century. I think Sepp
Yeah.
has won twice this year. With
Yeah.
yeah. So he's
Yeah,
been
he's
having a
won
good
a
season.
signature event. So
Yep.
yeah. So I think those are 2 legitimate picks. I think I'm gonna go with Kevin Yu again.
Okay, because y'all both
Because
was a tie.
dude, but it's just he played solid. He played solid 2 weeks ago. How did he play
Yeah.
this week? I actually don't have no clue.
Well, he didn't miss the cut because there was no cut in the
Oh,
center
he's
event,
25th
but
this week,
Yeah,
-5 this week. So
yeah.
solid
Good
showing.
job. Good showing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Solid showing. And then so Ben Griffin and then Kevin Yu are my final 2 picks. Yeah,
So Ben Griffin, Kevin Yu, Sepp Straka, and Hideki
Hideki.
Matsuyama. That's a good picks, bro. So here are mine. Here right here. So again, super flat course, super open. This guy hasn't won since his impressive win at the Houston Open. He's top 10 in driving distance, and with it being so open, man, I think you can take some shots here. And again, his sister just finished winning a major this week. I think Minjee Lee has a resurgence, comes back, get his second win on the PGA Tour at the Rocket Mortgage Classic, man. I think it's just really made for him. Next person I'm going to say is, again, I just mentioned it. He let me down at Oakmont, but again, it's Oakmont. This field isn't really threatening. There's only one person in the top 5 official World Golf rankings and is playing, and that's Colin Morikawa. And him and Joe, in terms of Colin Morikawa, don't have the groove of things yet. So I think the person that can possibly win this week is Patrick Cantlay, bro. His last win came in 2022 at the BMW Championships. And this week, for lack of better words, Patrick Cantlay is the Scottie Scheffler. So you're the guy this week, bro. Because there's no one, again, in that top 5 official World Golf rankings that are really threatening like that. So, yeah. But again, that's besides Colin. But I think it's a good week for him. And this next person, I did some intense studying, bro. It's a bit of a reach here, but I have my reasons. So Detroit Golf Club is one of the easiest scoring venues on the tour. This guy is top 5 in scoring average with 69.963 and has one of the lowest rounds on tour this year with 61. No one's going to know this guy. Keith Mitchell, man. And with trying to make a playoff push, what better time to get some FedEx points than winning the Rocket Mortgage, man? So, and then my last, again, I know I just mentioned him. I'm very, very wary of picking him because him and the new caddy, Joe, don't have it down. But, dog, and he's been doing this weird posture thing before he swings, putting the club on his back. Colin Morikawa, bro. I'm going to pick him just because, again, top 4 guy, you're hungry for a win. There's not anything necessary to prove in terms of making a playoff push. You're going to make the playoffs. You're already up there in the Ryder Cup's point. You are dropping a little bit, but to kind of give yourself a bit of a boost, what better time to win than right now? But hopefully, him and his cat can figure out some stuff. And if you haven't been seeing Colin swing before he does, he puts like a club on his back to help with this posture, and then he goes and swings. So he's doing a lot of new tinkering stuff. But again, I think it's a type of tournament where you could do some tinkering and maybe get away with it because the field isn't that scary.
Yeah, and it's open. You know, like
Very open. So yeah, you can miss and be perfectly fine.
yeah.
Yeah. So I'd
Well,
love to hear
the
your two dark
the
horses though.
the Cantley is the guy take, bro. I think that's
Yeah,
a hot take this week.
it is a hot take, but I mean he's top 10, I think, in official world golf rankings, and like no one else is playing. There's no Roy, there's no
There's no
Scotty,
other.
there's no Xander, like there's no true threat like that. So it's just like you're the
Yeah,
guy, you're the guy to beat.
yeah.
The
It's just
next
Hideki
highest
and
ranked person is Hideki Matsuyama, which you already named, and then Ben Griffin.
yeah.
But in
Well,
terms
I
of
mean,
experience and
yeah,
stuff,
Morikawa's
yes,
4, but
yeah,
I
that's why I
don't know,
said, yeah, that's why I said like outside of Morikawa, I think he's the Scotty. Hot take, man. I hope people throw tomatoes at me.
bro. Yeah, dude, you're gonna get some. Dude, you're gonna get some. Patrick Cantley. All right, yo. So, let's see. I just starred him. Where'd he go? I think Alex Noren. He's gonna
I
be
like
my
that. He's been
sleeper.
playing pretty okay. He's been playing pretty solid.
And dude, low key, it's just because he was in the final pairing with Scotty
Scotty,
at the
yeah.
PGA.
I
So
don't think
I'm
he's
just
missed
gonna
the cut since then, though. I don't think.
really, dude. I haven't really
Let,
followed him
let me
since then.
let. I just keep hearing his name pop up every single time. Just like, yo, Alex, you just kind of just sneaky, just chilling and playing some golf. Let me make sure I'm not lying. I hope the first thing I see is Alex Noren cut. Yeah. So Travelers T30, RBC
Okay.
Canadian. He did Mr. RBC Canadian. Shoot.
Shoot.
Memorial
Well,
T39, PGA Championship T17, the Truest T51, the Century. I don't think maybe he missed a cut, but yeah, outside that, like he's been solidly missed one cut. But I think that's a good dark horse pick, man. And like I said,
dude,
he definitely came out of nowhere the week
his
when he was
approaches
playing
from
Scotty.
his approaches from 50 to 125 averages 19 feet and 6 inches. So that's a look for birdie.
It's a look for birdie, 100%.
That was closer than like everyone's average this week at the Travelers, I think. So I think Hideki averaged like about 30 feet. You know.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good take. I like the
So
Alex Noren pick. I like that pick.
yeah, I'm gonna go with Alex Noren, and then let's see. I don't know. You pick another. You pick a sleepers, and then I'll think about it.
For sure, yeah. So for me, dark horse pick. It's a bit of a biased pick, but we love numbers here, and we gotta have reasoning, bro. Dang, that thumbs up thing just came up. We did a good job before that popped up. But again, I'm going Andrew Putnam, bro, and hear me out. I know people are like, "There's no shot." I'm picking Andrew Putnam. Here's my reason why: eighth in scoring average. He's been hitting the ball particularly. He hasn't been hitting the ball particularly far, but green and regulations, he's fifth. And again, because these holes aren't particularly long, he doesn't have a high driving average distance. But Putnam is top 25 in approach shots from 125 to 150. And we just said, like, yo, if you
Oh
can
wow,
hit
yeah.
solid approach shots from those particular numbers, then we can see a lot happening. And with some of these holes being fairly short, and let's say you do drive it, 270 on a, I want to make sure I do the math right. People don't call me dumb. On a 400-yard par four, he's at that distance where it's like I can hit the green
Yeah.
from here, man.
Well, dude, yeah.
Um,
Like even short hitters on tour hit it close to 300. You know, like it's like
yeah,
290. You know,
yeah,
that'll be a
exactly.
short hitter. Yeah.
Yeah, so I really hope Putnam can get, a top 15. I want to see him win, but I think a top 15 is legit. And like I said, when I first met Putnam, top 35 player, dog. He was eating. I know he wants to make a playoff push as well, but he will be my dark horse to win this week.
Okay, yo, I got another dark horse.
Okay.
I think Luke Clanton, because I think he's a rookie this year. Is he
Wow.
on tour?
Yeah, yeah.
Is he
I think
like a?
he played this week, right? The Travelers.
I don't know.
I think he
I don't
did.
know if he's on tour, if he's like on Corn Ferry, but he has like conditional status to
Yeah. I
a few.
think he does have his card.
Dude, but yeah, but
Luke
but
Clanton's a good pick.
his driving distance average is 311. Because
Wow.
I just knew because young golfers always hit
Young
the ball
golf.
far.
Yeah.
Like all these young golfers just smoke it. So
Yeah.
uh, Average driving distance 311. Though I think the reason why he hasn't been doing well, like on tour, I guess, or and stuff, is because his driving accuracy is 52%, which I don't know if that's
Ooh.
good, but
Well, this course is open though.
yeah, that's what
Yeah,
I'm saying. Like,
yeah, and it's a good question. You don't know if that's good because at least on tour, like let's say they're like a little right edge of the rough, that's not a fairway hit for them. Even though the ball's not lost, and it's like you can still play this really well. That's not considered a
yeah,
fairway hit. Like if us playing as amateurs, it's like my ball's
I'll take that.
findable and it's
Yeah,
right. That's a fairway
yeah.
hit. Yeah,
As long as it's on grass, like, and it's like
yeah,
far down the fairway, I'll
yeah.
take it. You
It's
know.
a fairway hit.
Uh,
Yeah,
yeah, but yeah, especially with this course being a little bit more open and being a little shorter, like he's
yeah,
gonna have some chances. I mean, I just hope he gets a top 20 finish too. That'd be awesome.
yeah, yeah. That's a good pick. I love that pick, Shaq. That's a really good pick. Uh, my dark horse, bro. To conclude it, bro, doesn't have a win in his career. Obviously, it's not as detrimental as Tommy Fleetwood, but Cam Young, which I think it was a really good pick when you picked him for. Was the U.S. Open you picked him for? He was playing really sneaky
Yes,
good
dude.
coming up there. Yeah,
Yeah, he put
yeah, yeah,
he
yeah,
was
yeah.
like top 10 in the U.S. Open.
Yes, top 10 U.S. Open, had to earn his way at a
Yeah,
qualifier.
because the
But
week
again,
before, yeah, he had to earn the qualifier, and the week before he got
yeah,
fourth
RBC.
or something. Yeah, yeah,
RBC.
yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm more so I'm banking on him because his driver's distance ranking, he's 17th, and his putting, he's ninth. So a
Oh,
combination of
dude,
both of
that's a
those
good
things can,
pick. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. Especially like I said, this is a scoreable course. So once you get on the
yeah.
green, which I'm hoping that he gets on the green, we can see low numbers come from Cam Young, bro. So that would be my last dark horse. Like I said, I am favoring more so Putnam though, because of a
Yeah.
bit of a bias. I'm pretty cordial with him, but
Dude, that is good because like all
yeah,
these guys are still pretty good from 100 yards and in. Like even though they're ranked
yeah,
like 90th on tour, they're still like pretty dang good. So if your
for
putting
sure.
can kind of make up for that,
Hmm.
that's a sneaky pick. He was good
Yeah,
at scrambling too, dude. So like if
yeah,
he hits
yeah.
a
That
good
week with
drive
RBC,
near the
he was.
green,
Yeah,
yeah, if
he
he
can
hits a
get
good
up and
drive
down.
near the green, then it's scramble drill, you know?
Yeah, yeah, he can get up and down. I agree. I agree. Again, people who are watching this, man, we'd love to hear your takes for predicting the Rocket Mortgage. I know it's not as a popular tournament, but I think it's a really good week to see like someone new get a win, man. You won't
Yeah,
see
that'd be
your
cool.
repetitive names and stuff like that. Even though sometimes we see those undercard guys sneak in, but this is a good week for maybe Ricky Fowler to sneak back in there and get him a win. This was
Yeah.
his last win was in Detroit. Was it 2 years ago,
Oh.
man? Maybe Max
Oh, that's
Homa.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe was Homa even in the field? I believe he is.
Yeah,
This
he's
is
in the
probably a
field.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good week for Max Homa maybe to get back in the winner's circle. Can't lay to find a win this week. So for you golf heads out there that love the sport, man, we would love to hear your thoughts on
Mhm.
who can win the Rocket Mortgage. And lastly, man, we are going to do another giveaway. If you waited this long, man, more props to you, man. And it's important that in golf we keep our grooves clean, bro. You want to get some spin on the ball, you got to keep them grooves clean, man. And we'll be giving away a Caddy Splash club cleaner right here, man. This can be yours. All you have to do is, again, tell us who you think is going to win the Rocket Mortgage in the comments. If you do it on IG, that counts as one entry. If you do it on YouTube, that counts as 3 entries. If you do it on Spotify, we'll give you 5 entries, man.
Oh,
Simple as
dang.
that, man. Yeah, simple as that, man. So you guys who are golf fans that love golf, you go make some comments. You tell us who you think is going to win the Rocket Mortgage, and you get a chance to win this Caddy Splash. Now, if you don't win, guys, if you go to caddysplash.com, type in the promo code Golf and Gospel 10, get yourself a discount. But again, Jeremy Davis, and this is the homie, the best PT in the state of Arizona, Nate Wong, and we see you on the next episode of Golf and Gospel. Peace.
Peace.